What's up, you guys? I'm Rap Instinct, a rapper, songwriter, and music producer from Southern California, and I wanted to share with you my experience going to college for music production. To summarize my backstory, I've been rapping since elementary school. A childhood friend of mine said that we should start rapping in the lunch yard and on our off time, so I did that with him. I wrote lyrics on my own time, and carrying the dream with me to be a rapper between elementary, middle school, and high school, it became that much more solidified that this is what I wanted to do the rest of my life. When I was in 10th grade, the planning for my life post high school started getting put into place. Was I going to college? Was I not going to college? How specifically was I going to pursue my music career? All those questions started getting brought up, and I started trying to answer them. I had the biggest misconception about music making at that time. I thought I was just gonna buy FL Studio, push a bunch of buttons, and magically here comes a beat, then record my vocals, and then boom, platinum record, viral video, all that stuff. But I didn't have the slightest clue as to how much work really goes into making great music. For however studious I wasn't particularly enthusiastic about the idea of going to college. But after consulting with the elders in my life and doing a little bit of soul searching, I warmed up to the idea of going to college, and not knowing any beat makers and fellow rappers in high school around the time I was a junior or senior, the reality set in that, hey, I don't have any beats and I don't have any collaborators in my immediate proximity. How am I going to remedy that? And the answer I came up with was going to school for music production. I ended up touring the Los Angeles Recording School, aka LARS, which is in Hollywood, when I was 17 years old. After touring them and understanding what their program offering was, and more importantly, what the cost of tuition was, the reality set in that I couldn't afford to go there. So I pivoted and I thought I was going to transfer to a Cal State, whether it was Cal State Northridge, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach, or Cal State LA. And that sounded nice and dandy, but I didn't have my A through G requirements entirely. I had A's and B's throughout everything else, but I ended up getting D's and or one F in my 2 semesters that I was supposed to take a foreign language. I ended up fucking up in Mandarin, so that rendered me ineligible to go to a Cal State or a UC immediately out of high school. So I was relegated to community college strictly. On top of that, YouTube University, quite frankly, was too piecemeal for my liking and how I prefer to learn things, because there was too many YouTubers saying to do things this way, so many people saying to do things this way. You have to get this gear. No, you have to get that gear. And for me, it wasn't cohesive enough for my desired learning experience. So I decided going to college for music production was the best option for me. Plus, Internet Guru's credibility has always been shaky in my eyes. In comparison, to be employed by an accredited college indicated to me that the instructor supposedly had a certain amount of experience in the industry and they had to have come from a certain pedigree in their chosen field. Fast forward to August 2019, I'm at Mount Sac chipping away at my general ed courses so I could transfer to a 4 year university to study music. Then, boom, in comes the COVID-19 pandemic, which brings the world to its knees. All classes are taught on Zoom, and I just wasn't down to learn music like that. So I spent the semesters that were during COVID lockdown chipping away at my general ed courses, and I figured when the pandemic is more relieved or totally over, that would be when I return to campus in person to start my major prep, start learning music courses. When the fall 2021 semester rolled around, that was when California started allowing students to return to campus with COVID precautions in place. And I wound up in the counselor's office asking for advice on if I should transfer, if I should stay. Does Mount Sac have a decent music program? Because student debt is a motherfucker, and I really just wasn't trying to take on that responsibility. There's no guaranteed job for you with the completion of a college degree, and right out the gate you're going to be assuming tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and I just wasn't down for that. So I sought a more affordable alternative. Enter a guidance counselor telling me to contact the chairman of Mount Sac's audio arts department to see if this program would be worthwhile. To summarize a lengthy email thread with the chairman of the department, he told me, hey, while I'd never discourage you from furthering your education as far as your doctorate, I think this Associates of Science program we offer here at Mount Sac is a great place to start. Tuition is at an all-time low, especially relative to the education you're getting. We hook you up with lots of equipment, facilities, connections, and possible internship opportunities with real industry professionals, and it's also close by to where you live. On top of that, he told me, hey, I went to these Cal States that you told me that you're intending on transferring to, and I designed our college's program to be superior to theirs, both in terms of the education itself and the resources that you're hooked up with. That email chain alone convinced me to stay at Mount Sac. Because I came to the college with only my rapping abilities, I took it upon myself to learn music at a foundational level. Come spring 2022, pandemic restrictions in California had softened up a lot. I enrolled in a couple different music theory classes, and then the following 4 semesters, which closed out my time at the college, consisted of different production, business, and engineering classes that were pretty much all encompassing of the modern day music industry. A little more than 3 weeks ago, I graduated with an Associates of Science in Audio Arts, debt free, so much more informed, and confident to take a stab at having a solo career. I say all that to not just share a little bit about myself with you guys, but also to address the question that I'm sure a lot of aspiring artists, producers, and engineers have, which is, should I go to college for audio/music production? I think your answer should be totally dependent on if you're planning on doing this for a career or a hobby, your finances, and also how close you are to an institution that teaches music production. If you're looking to be a hobbyist, which is totally fine, you can definitely save a lot of money learning from free online resources. You can pick and choose what you're going to learn, and you can also go at your own pace. On the contrary, if you intend on pursuing a career in pro audio and you are looking to pursue a formal education in that field, you're going to be paying a tuition price to learn a prescribed set of things at a set semester pace. As far as career advancement, unless you're looking to be in the music education space, a degree in music or music adjacent majors is not going to be a streamlined ticket to career advancement for you. When headhunters for music companies are seeking talent, degrees are not what stick out to them. They're more so looking at how many years of real world experience do you have and who can vouch for you, because it's such a niche industry. Somebody's going to know somebody. If you're a recording artist and or producer, your fans do not care if you have a music degree. Matter of fact, you tell me the last time that you heard hot talent and you asked yourself, does this person have a degree in music? Go ahead, I'll wait. Now I bet a lot of you are questioning, Raf, what are the benefits of going to college for a degree in music production then? One thing I walked away from Mount Sac with was a vast enough knowledge of the music industry that enables me to be self-sufficient in most areas, or at least aware of who to hire if I can't do something myself. My second takeaway from the college was connections. I was able to meet fellow artists, engineers, producers, and possible employers during my time there. Third was the opportunity to test out a variety of software and hardware before I invested my own money into them. Last but not least would be the ability to think myself out of and think myself into certain situations. Sure, the degree itself isn't a ticket to streamline success, but being able to navigate and find or create opportunities is what will put all of the other knowledge to use in the first place. So to recap, before you pursue a degree in music production or audio, you need to be very clear about your intentions and what you expect to get out of doing so. So now you guys know a little bit more about me, and hopefully I was able to answer some questions for those who are curious about this topic. If need be, I'll do a follow-up video to this one, but in the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you next time. Peace.